late, but better late than never, as they say. And the Indiana Fever taking some heat.
Once Stephanie White stood inside the locker room, but the atmosphere wasn't filled with the usual pre-game excitement. Instead, it was heavy with the realization that fans had finally turned against the Indiana Fever's leadership. The bombshell arrived just before tip-off against the Dream. Caitlin Clark's signature shoe was expected to be a historic milestone, a crowning achievement for the most popular player in the sport. Yet, the excitement surrounding it was surprisingly muted, and fans weren't pointing fingers at the market or the timing. They were directing their frustration toward the coaching staff. Reports suggested that Stephanie White was completely stunned as a massive wave of online backlash swept across the organization, with many fans holding her personally responsible for the declining enthusiasm surrounding the league's biggest star.
Indiana Fever are taking some heat from fans saying, hey, this is your fault. This is your fault, Steph's fault, Lynn's fault, Kelly's fault, Amber's fault. You guys are pushing away the fans. You guys are calling us conspiracy theorists, calling us bots, calling us complainers, saying don't pay attention to us. Very interesting. Very interesting. Let's get right into it, shall we? Like the video, hype the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. A special walk for Caitlin Clark coming into the building tonight with the
To the Caitlin Clark 1 should have been the biggest launch in the history of women's basketball footwear. We're talking about a player who shattered virtually every viewership record imaginable. Yet, as she arrived at the arena tonight with the CC1s in hand, the atmosphere felt strangely subdued. Nike is facing criticism for being 2, 3, or even 4 years late in capitalizing on the moment. Many believe the company waited until the peak of Clark's momentum had already begun to fade. Fans are calling it one of the biggest marketing missteps in sports history. However, the pressure isn't falling solely on Nike. The Indiana Fever organization is also being accused of dimming the spotlight on its own superstar. And tonight, according to many frustrated fans, those decisions have finally come back to haunt them.
She's also wearing a shirt that says, shoot more threes. I bet Stephanie White read that shirt and cringed instantly. Stephanie White said, what does that shirt say? Shoot more threes. And she collapsed right there on the spot, fainted right there on the spot. Caitlin Clark breaks down her favorite feature of the Nike Caitlin 1. Let's take a listen.
What's your favorite feature of the Caitlin 1?
I think just one. Oh my gosh. I think the fact that the outside part is C's and the inside part is 2's, but you can only tell.
The numbers coming back from the first round of All-Star voting are being described by many as nothing short of a disaster for the league. This time last year, the excitement was undeniable, and the voting totals reflected what seemed like a global phenomenon. Now, the latest figures show a dramatic decline that few people anticipated. Caitlin Clark, the player many expected to be the clear-cut #1 vote-getter, is sitting at just over 250,000 votes. When compared to the more than 500,000 votes she was receiving previously, the contrast is impossible to ignore. Fans aren't simply remaining silent, they're openly expressing their frustrations. Many are pointing directly at Stephanie White and the Fever front office, arguing that the organization's management approach is pushing audiences away and contributing to the drop in engagement.
Right now, you better give me something tonight. 30 and 10, 30-point triple-double, a 20-point triple-double, I'll take it. A 40-piece, I'll take that too. A 50 piece. Just please, don't come. You know, I'm not even gonna say the words out loud. Just make sure, but come correct tonight. Ready to put on a show. This is. You don't want to wear the shoes for the first time on court and have a, you know. You want to wear them and have a solid game. Want to come out with a victory.
It wasn't just the voting numbers that sent shockwaves through the organization. It was the visual statement Caitlin Clark made before the game had even begun. She arrived at the arena wearing a shirt that boldly read, "Shoot more threes." To a casual observer, it may have seemed like nothing more than a simple piece of clothing. But to those closely following the internal dynamics surrounding the Fever, it felt like a direct challenge to Stephanie White's coaching philosophy. Some insiders reportedly believed the message caught the coaching staff completely off guard. It served as a public display of the strategic tension that many believe has been building beneath the surface for weeks. Clark wants to play at a faster pace, she wants to shoot, and she wants to be the offensive engine she was drafted to become.
He's not lying. Dan Wetzel put out a great article over there on ESPN yesterday. Shoes coming out late. What took him so long? it's pretty easy what took them so long. It's not rocket science. Caitlin Clark, white, straight. The WNBA, predominantly black, lesbian. Let's push the woke agenda before we put Caitlin Clark. We'll lose money pushing the agenda, then make money pushing Caitlin Clark. It makes no sense, but it's the truth. It makes no sense, but it's the truth. I was watching Behind the Line earlier today. Nike stock was hovering.
Fans appear to have reached a breaking point regarding how the Fever are managing their generational talent. For months, the organization has faced criticism from supporters who felt their concerns were being dismissed as conspiracy theories or unnecessary complaints. Whenever fans argued that the coaching approach was limiting Clark's natural style of play, many felt they were being told to stay quiet. Now, according to those critics, that dismissive attitude has contributed to a significant decline in enthusiasm and engagement. Some fans say they're losing interest because they believe the team isn't committed to maximizing its potential on the court. They see a coaching staff that prefers to remain committed to a rigid, old-fashioned system rather than fully embracing the strengths of one of the game's most dynamic shooters. The signature shoe launch became the ultimate measuring stick, and, in the eyes of many disappointed supporters, the results have been deeply concerning.
Watching Behind the Line earlier today, Nike stock was hovering around $115, maybe even more over 10 years ago, and now we're sitting around $50, less than $50. They could have pulled this trigger a long time ago, and they opted not to. Got some feedback. A time when the shoe should have been released in 2024. I agree. This shoe should have came out in 2024. It would have been huge, riding the momentum, following the tournament, following her junior year, following her senior year, leading into her rookie season, even after the rookies. It would have been.
Nike's role in this situation has become a major topic of discussion among fans and analysts alike. For years, the company watched as Clark continued to rewrite record books during her time at Iowa. Many believe Nike had an opportunity to launch a signature shoe while interest in her career was at its absolute peak, yet the company chose to wait. The reasoning behind that decision has sparked widespread debate. Some observers argue that Nike's internal strategy focused on promoting other athletes and pursuing different marketing priorities instead of responding to what they viewed as overwhelming consumer demand. By the time Clark finally received her own logo and signature shoe, many felt that the initial wave of excitement had already lost some of its momentum. As a result, Nike now finds itself promoting a product that many expected to be an easy home run, yet the launch is being viewed by some critics as an attempt to catch up rather than capitalize on the moment.
Fan vote returns. No one will be talking about the Fever in 3 years. Jeez. This is what you get for pushing fans away. Never forget who got you what you have. CC is not number one with millions of votes already in year 3 as a fumble by the Fever. People losing interest. Just look at your attendance. Damn, if this is accurate, it's embarrassing. Sad what this team has done to interest around CC, or maybe this was the play. Damn. There's no way, with the way AB has been playing, she should be ahead of CC. What is going on? This is what happens when you suppress your star player.
The design of the CC1 itself has received plenty of praise, featuring a striking deep blue colorway that Clark reportedly enjoys. She has described the shoe's feel as being like walking on clouds, emphasizing the comfort and responsiveness that were built to support her explosive movement on the court. With premium performance technology and a sleek CC logo, the shoe certainly has many of the ingredients for success. However, even the best designed product depends on the strength of the brand behind it. According to many fans, the Caitlin Clark brand has been affected by the Indiana Fever's struggles to fully capitalize on her popularity and market appeal. Critics argue that the organization has failed to showcase her as the transformational superstar they believe she is, instead making her appear like just another player on a team still trying to find its footing. In their view, that perception has limited the impact of what should have been a landmark moment for one of basketball's biggest stars.
Votes are significantly down. Votes are significantly down. This time last year, she had over 515,000. Now she's at 230. A'ja Wilson had more. Nafisa Collier had 490,000. A'ja Wilson has 300. Votes are significantly down. Viewership is down. Attendance is down. Fans are tuning out. The numbers are down across the board. And if I'm the WNBA, I'm a bit concerned. Big night tonight. Caitlin Clark debuting the CC1s. Nike fumbled the bag. It is what it is, but better late than never. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. See you next time, and as always,
Let's look at the attendance figures and viewership trends. According to many observers, the numbers have declined across the board, raising concerns about the league's overall momentum. The argument from frustrated fans is simple. When you have a star with this level of popularity, you don't minimize their impact, you maximize it. Critics believe the Fever have spent much of the season trying to fit Clark into a system that doesn't fully complement her strengths. As a result, many fans feel a growing disconnect with the team. They didn't tune in to watch a limited version of Caitlin Clark. They wanted to see the deep three-pointers, the fast-paced offense, and the highlight reel playmaking that made her a household name. Some supporters argue that the coaching staff's reluctance to adjust has contributed to declining engagement, which they believe is now being reflected in everything from merchandise interest to all-star voting participation. The criticism of Nike's strategy has also become increasingly intense. Some prominent commentators have argued that the company focused on broader marketing objectives instead of aggressively capitalizing on Clark's enormous popularity. Critics claim that while Nike invested resources into promoting other athletes, it missed an opportunity to fully leverage one of the biggest stars women's basketball has ever seen. The discussion has even expanded beyond sports, with some viewing it as a major business miscalculation. Supporters of this perspective argue that Nike failed to take full advantage of one of the most significant growth periods in women's sports, allowing valuable momentum to slip away. Another major point of contention is the amount of time it took for Clark to receive a fully developed signature brand identity. Fans frequently point out that it took years for her logo and signature shoe project to come